Do you think it records sound as well?
It records the sound too. Yeah, I don't know how the quality is, but it's just a test it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can go back and do that.
Right.
Bet. Put that intro back on, man. Give me some hand clap, man. Stand ovation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No time to waste. Yes, sir. Stay on. Yes, sir. You already know. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. No, thank y'all.
That's a welcome. Nice warm welcome. I appreciate it. Come back. Might keep it Welcome everyone. To the whole nine.
Yes, this the welcome to the whole nine, baby. Welcome to the whole nine, baby.
Yeah, we talking about
everything.
Ain't nothing off limits out here.
Parental advisory is gonna be some real shit going on up in here, Dad.
Put your kids to bed.
Yes, sir.
Actually, they can come listen too.
It's some grown folk stuff,
man. Might as well get them nice and early.
Yeah.
Get them nice and early.
Yeah, people getting raised by computers nowadays, you know. It's like getting raised by TV. They getting raised in school, so you gotta make sure, you know, it's some informative, you know, positive information being, you know, that they're being exposed to. So
very much so. That's facts, big bro. Facts.
Yeah.
Preach.
So man, I just want to give a shout out, you know, first and foremost to the big man upstairs, you know, for blessing, you know, for blessing us, you know, giving us sustenance and promise. You know, I feel like the world is available to us, man. Like anything we want to do, we can do it, baby. We just gotta, like, you know, follow the blueprint, stay away from the distractions, stay focused, you know, stay woke. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Keep your eyes open.
Yes, sir.
We out here sleeping.
Yes, sir.
Don't let this internet get your brain waves mixed up. Good stuff.
You know, real talk, man. So we got a couple topics, you know, we gonna you know, dive into. You know,
what you gonna hit them with, big bro?
Oh man, I mean, we got so many. I mean, we can start off. We can start off with drugs and music. You know, just about yeah, man. It's you know, I don't want to say it's getting out of hand. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You know, some of the most the greatest artists in the world, you know, or you know, had some type of drug addiction, or you know, they use drugs to, you know, facilitate their creative process. Like,
that's the scary part. Like, you'll hear a lot of them make it seem as though they depended on it.
Right.
And that's what's actually the source of the creativity.
Right.
But you gotta tap in, man. You gotta tap into your deeper self. Don't let that control you.
Right. Because drugs been around. Like, drugs ain't new. In the beginning of, you know, civilization, it's just like, you know, I just feel like they were using it, you know, to tap into, you know, a spirituality, or tap into a inner consciousness. Like, it wasn't. I don't feel like it was, you know, abusive. It was more so, you know, to, like I said, facilitate creativity or whatever. But like nowadays, it's like addiction is a culture now, and they have like new drugs that you really don't know, you know, what the drugs do to your body. You got prescription drugs. It's just like everything ain't right for everybody, you know.
They got it. They got it to where it's like it's mandatory.
Right.
Like they'll rap about it, and I'm just talking about hip hop in general. Well, to be specific, they'll rap about it to make it seem as though, all right, this is what you need. This is your hip hop kit, starter kit.
Right.
Well, I don't know how prevalent it is now, but make sure you got your X. Make sure you got your X. If you want to party, you want some girls, make sure you got your X on deck.
Some Xanax. What's the lean?
Yeah, make sure you got your lean, because if you ain't leaning,
you ain't got your double cup.
Good courses.
it's crazy. It's like people dying before their time, man. It's like, if you dying before them, 50, 60 years old, you ain't get hit by no car, had no heart attack. It's like you too damn go young, man. Like
you out here doing too much, my brother.
Doing too much. Tone it back a little bit.
Doing too much. You got too much going for yourself. Got too many people depending on you for you to be out here overdosing, man.
Right.
There's so much money to be made, man. Who died this past year? I know you got Mac Miller. Recently passed.
Right.
Off of overdose. You got what's the other guy name?
Not Lil Xan, was a little Peep, a little pump or something like that.
Lil Peep died.
Yeah. I'm saying.
Like, golly, man, it definitely ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Your boy Pimp C, God bless his dead. Pimp C done passed off the lean addiction.
There's too many people, man.
That's too scary, man. Like, that's one reason why I ain't never tried nothing. The only thing I tried in my life was the Mary Jane.
Mary Jane,
nothing else.
That's the international herb right there.
I ain't trying to be butt naked in nobody's chicken coop. I just want the regular Mary Jane. I don't want nothing else in my life. I'll take it, man. I always like this joint right here. That joint was always one of my favorites.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't see how you can do it, man. Like, I'm trying to think. So what was let me see, lean, Mary Jane, Molly there was a big phase with Molly.
Cocaine is big.
Cocaine is big.
And another one that people sleeping on that's it's like different permutations of it is like heroin. Heroin, the PCP, like or that Sherm. That's what like even Tupac was used to smoke Sherm and with his embalming fluid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like they was on it. Like it's a part of culture, man. I remember when I was working at UPS there, like one of my coworkers was talking about he be selling like heroin and shit. I'm like, man, people still use heroin. He like, man, that's my favorite. That shit is my favorite drug, man. Like it make you feel good, like you could smash for hours with that. Like I'm like, damn, dog, like people still doing that, dog. Like I tell you,
I don't even want to smash for hours. I want to get 10, 30 minutes.
Right.
Let me get back to doing something productive with my life.
Right.
I don't need no long smash section.
I don't know too many successful stories with these daggone heroin addicts. Like you might feel like you're doing good for a couple years, and after a while you start losing teeth.
I feel like the life expectancy. Well, let me see. Hold on. What is the life expectancy for heroin?
Yeah, too long. They got this time lapse video I seen on YouTube where they showed like different pictures of different heroin addicts, like as they got apprehended. They look like zombies. Like they start off like looking regular, and then each mugshot just looked like they lost teeth. They skin start like deteriorating. They start losing weight. Obviously, they stealing from their family and all type of stuff. Like you start turning inwards. Like you start going inside yourself, man. You start like ignoring the world. You just obsessed with getting high. And you never.
Like if you just look up the damn side effects of these drugs before you take these drugs,
right?
It probably deter you. I don't understand how I want to deter you.
Look at a crackhead, dad. You like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that, dad.
Bro, I'm not taking no crack, dog. Like, I don't see. That's what I'm gonna look like in 2 years. No, I don't want to suck dick for the crack glass pipe.
Like a dick for cheeseburgers. I
don't want no part of that.
No parts, Dad.
Keep my teeth. Jeez. Golly. And we all got family that have dabbled in the drugs.
Yeah.
I use those examples, man.
Yeah, everybody got family that struggle with that. Like I don't know why you would, want to put somebody else through that. Knowing that knowing what
you got
what
kids, you got relatives. It's not worth it, man. Say no to the dope. Say no to drugs.
Yes.
You want to smoke crack?
That shit remind me of the Chappelle show now. Like,
what's the crackhead name?
Tyrone Biggles and shit.
That Tyrone Biggles out here with the powder lips.
Thanks, Fred Balls. Shazam!
Oh man. Nah, I work behind where I work at, I got like a whole bunch of prostitutes. All look like they on crack, heroin, the whole nine. Like, bro, you ain't got no meat on your bones.
Like, who paying for that, man? Like,
no, they really. I be catching them too. It'd be funny. I be trying to scare them. So when I be seeing them about to hop in the truck, I be yelling, "Hey,
hey, get from up out of there!"
They be scaring like roaches. Oh man. I'm like, dog, are you really getting your nozzle twisted by this? I feel like if you even look at my genitalia, I'm gonna catch something, man. I ain't about to put myself.
Yeah, that's scary, dad. People run into it, they under a spell, dog. You know what I'm saying? They under a spell. A lot of people
once you do it, you get hooked.
Right.
And then the bad part is the withdrawals, man. The withdrawals last like 7 days for like heroin.
Yeah.
And like you get sick, stomach cramps. Golly, man. And then, and they always talking about gateway drug. They say marijuana a gateway drug. I ain't never gated to nothing else.
I ain't never gated to nothing else. So I'm like,
But you think they're gonna legalize it?
They're gonna legalize. It's just a matter of time, you know. They're already legalizing it. We just waiting for them to legalize it at the federal level, which is gonna happen soon, you know. I don't know how soon, but like I think they're experimenting now. You know how they're letting each state, you know,
do it one by one.
Decide whether or not they're gonna, you know, permit use for whether it be medical use or recreational use. But like you're noticing, a lot more states are, you know, legalizing it for recreational use. You know what I'm saying, which is important. And then Canada is I think they already legalized it for recreational use. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, it's a lot of like countries in South America who doing it, you know.
What's gonna happen to the weed man once they legalize drugs?
I mean, that's the problem, like because the weed man can grow it. That's why, you know, it's like you can't let this
the money go to waste.
You can't let this money go to waste, like because on the back end of that, you know, like people are getting incarcerated up for like marijuana, and, you know, obviously the other drugs and stuff. But like, I feel like the market is going to get saturated, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what I'm noticing now too is like a lot of rappers or like a lot of entertainers, they're coming up with their own marijuana strands. So like, like, you know, coming up with their own branded marijuana. I feel like by the time like it's actually legalized, like marijuana is going to be a GMO. It's going to be like genetically modified. So, you know,
that's scary.
That's what's scary to me, because you don't know what's being done to it. And it's like with fruits and vegetables, you know, fruits and stuff is supposed to have seeds. You know, that's how you know that it's alive, it can propagate itself, it can you know, it can make more life. But if you're eating something that doesn't have that can't reproduce itself, like you're not
what else you putting in your body?
What are you putting in your body? It's like you're not getting the full benefits or the full nutritional value from it. You know what I'm saying? Like marijuana has nutritional value, you know, even though it's that's like a drug, like it has a nutritional value. Like your brain has natural THC receptors in it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like obviously it's producing something that your body, you know, could use. And if you modifying it, like you're changing the DNA, like the genetic makeup of it and how it's going to affect you, it's like it's changing you in a way that, you know, that you don't know. Like people aren't scientists, you know what I'm saying? Like scientists are scientists, and then scientists are making marijuana now, or they're modifying marijuana, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they're changing it so that it's not giving you the benefit that's supposed to give you. And like by the time it's legalized, I feel like people are going to be purchasing, you know, something that it's not
actually not beneficial, right?
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like it's scary because you know, like, do you know somebody who's or I'm not, do you know somebody, but it's like, is there a place where, you know, where marijuana grows naturally, you know, in America? Like it just grows wild, like it's called weed, but like, do you know where it's a weed at? It's controlled. It's grow in a control. It's always grown in a controlled area, in a controlled environment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people are getting bamboozled, man. And it's like it's just like with food. Like weed is just a drug. You know what I'm saying? But like they doing this. I feel like they're doing the same thing with food. Like a lot of the foods are, you know, it's damn near patented. Like if you buy a lemon from the store, if you try to take a seed out that lemon and grow it, you know, and sell it, like you'll get sued because that lemon, that variety or that strain of lemon is like, you know, I have it's patent. I have the right to I'm the only one who could sell this stuff. Like, and I think that's the same thing gonna happen with marijuana by the time it's actually legalized. But it's gonna legalize it though. It's gonna get legalized because of how beneficial it is. Like they're making so much money off of it. As far as the medical economy, the medical economy, and they're taxing it now, and then you make money by arresting people because it's still not legal on the federal level. Legal on the federal level, so you making money on both sides, and on top of that, because it's, you know, you can't sell it. Like people are importing it from other countries, so you getting it from Mexico, you getting it from Canada, you getting it from South America, like all different types of countries, man. You know,
but Europe. You still got you investing in it, right?
Yeah, I invested in it. So I have like a couple of stocks. They did terrible. Like, so the time I invested in it, it was like right before Trump was taking office. So right before that time, like people were prospecting that, you know, they're going to legalize it, but they didn't know that Jeff Sessions was going to be the Attorney General, and it was going to freaking you know, he's going to nuke it. It was like, yeah, we ain't tolerating this marijuana on the federal level. They shut that down. So like right after he started making those statements, all those stocks tanked. You know what I'm saying? They went down, and it's crazy. It's crazy how they did it, man. Because it's like all the companies that's really going to benefit from marijuana is like the pharmaceutical companies. So like most of the big companies, they have drugs, you know, in the pipeline that use marijuana or THC or you know, cannabinoids and all that. They try to remove the THC from it, which is the psychoactive ingredient, and just try to use it for you know, because it helps you, like cancer patients. It gives them, you know, how it gives munchies, like it restores your appetite. It eases pain. It's a pain reliever. Is that
the THC in it, or what is that?
It's the cannabinoid, you know, so cannabinoid, but it's also the THC has a role in that, you know what I'm saying, as far as like opening your mind or opening like different neuron connections in your mind and shit, like how people think and how they receive pain or the sensation of pain, like all that stuff has something to do with it. But they just daggone, you know, they exploiting that and then not letting other people, you know, access it because it's a plant, though. You can't outlaw a plant, though. Like it grows. Like God, I ain't make it. Like I didn't go in a laboratory and make it. You know what I'm saying? Like it grows naturally.
Goodness. Hold on for a second. I got my wife hating on me with the podcast. Hold on.
She's supposed to hate that. She'll get it after a while and shit. Get some tunes, them, yeah. Let me get some tunes, them, yeah.
She called me just to tell me. She called me just to ask me what's going on.
Well, she want to know what's going on. That's all. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
She was just sleeping. I'm like, what the hell? You trying to see if Tills is up?
What's that?
Oh, I ain't see if Tills is up.
I need to hit him up, man. Tills be coming out missing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I'm proud of him, man. He talking about he still at UPS, you know. I think he's supposed to be driving now and all that. So, you know, just trying to take care of the family, man. I know he in one of them precarious positions, though, where you got the child support on you, you know. It's like they don't let up, though. Like, you know,
ruthless.
They're ruthless, man. You gotta. The government want their money. They don't care if your kid get the. They're like, hey, you got these checks. Oh, you ain't got these checks, huh? Go ahead.
They take it immediately out.
They take that out. They garnish those. It's crazy, man. Like we used to raise kids. Well, I ain't gonna say we, but like kids used to be raised, you know, on little to nothing nowadays. Back in the day, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like they gonna tell you how much it takes to raise.
They tell you how much it takes to raise a kid. Like people used to have damn 13 brothers and sisters and shit. Now you got 4 brothers. You broke as hell. You like, man, I can't do it now. You out of there, damn.
You try to raise more than one if you want to.
Yeah, trying to you better be a baller, Dad.
Yeah, you definitely better have a 6-figure salary.
Say something real quick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We in the building, nigga.
This is your boy Ron, and you are now tuned in to the Whole 9 podcast.
Yo, this is Bonsi AD. You're tuned in to the blackhole.com, the most positive station.
Man, what it is, man, it's Big Smalls signing out. Man, y'all check out the Whole 9, man. Y'all go ahead and check out the blackhole.com, man. It's going to work.